Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? I just wanted to come on and speak about what's kind of going on, like planetary-wise again. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that. I know I have damn questions about that. But yeah, I'll just wait for a couple more people to come on or to join us today, I should say. Okay. Hey, what's up, Giggle? I know, right? The energies are out of control right now. They've been a little bit, at least for me specifically, they've been a little bit more fluid, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, they're not bad or that they're not, debilitating. Hey, what's going on, only you? All right, guys, so I just wanted to talk about like what's been going on a little bit and what's to come. And while I'm speaking, I'm just going to be shuffling cards out and see what the hell pops out, Hey, what's going on, Moon in Cancer? You guys check out Moon in Cancer. She's really good. Check out her channel. Hey, Divine Evolution, what's going on? Yeah, I know a lot of triggers, especially. And if you guys haven't checked out my other update that I did before this one, check that out because this kind of follows that a little bit. Not maybe to the T, but it will. It's all encompassing, All right, guys. So I'm just shuffling this damn crap, and the Six of Swords came out. Okay. So yeah, a lot of us can feel like we are moving forward with our destinies, with our life, with whatever is going on, with us. And I wanted to talk a lot about different areas, kind of. Let's see, I'm going to pull this up here. All right, here we go. All right, guys. I was going to put up a chart, and have all, the aspects and all of that, but then I just decided I'm just going to talk about it. It's a little bit easier, at least for you guys to kind of follow along. I just think it's a little bit more conducive, to the talk, but trust that all the information that I'm stating is correct. Let's see, I'm going to read the comments for a little bit. Yeah, only you can be you. A lot of back and forth. And this is what everything I'm going to talk about is going to really explain that. All right, guys. So in the chart of, I don't want to say the hour, but the chart of, what's going on right now, it's very interesting because if any of you guys have booked with me for the astrology reading that I do, I focus on evolutionary astrology. And sometimes some of you guys, or different people, they have skip steps in their chart, right? Which means that a certain planet will square, which is tension, both the north node and the south node. Now, when that happens, it's something that has to do with, we're on this evolutionary cycle, reincarnation and things of that nature. Now, when a planet squares the north and the south node, let me just give you guys this kind of instance here really quick. Okay. So the north node and the south node, right? They're in opposite sides of the chart. So, even in opposite houses. So if it's going to be in, let's say the north node's in the first house, the south node's going to be in the seventh house. They're always opposing each other. The reason why they're opposing each other is because the south node is pretty much our comfortability, the familiarity, what we did in the past, what we already know, what we constantly kind of go to, what we have learned, and that's why the north node is going to be your soul's destiny. It's going to be the complete opposite of what the south node is, because the whole point is to come into this lifetime, the whole point is to come into this lifetime, right, to do the exact opposite, so your soul can continue on its journey to learn whatever lesson or circumstance that it needs to learn. So in saying that, since they're on opposite sides of your chart, right? Okay, so if the north node, let's just say for exemplary reasons, right? If the north node is positive, obviously, right, the south node has to be negative. It's like a battery, in a sense. So positive, negative, opposites, Now, what ends up happening is that over time, if your soul is not learning a certain lesson and you come into this lifetime with a skip step, both of those ends, right, the positive and the negative, are both the same aspect. So they're both squares. Now, when you think of that, how can that happen? There's a negative and a positive. It's not like a negative and a negative, at least within a chart. You understand what I'm trying to say here? So that lets us know, that what is kind of going on. Why are both ends a lesson? See, because a square whenever you see a square in a chart, it speaks of a lesson we need to learn. It speaks of something that has a potential to, I don't want to say really maybe transform us, but there's an aspect of it as to which helps change us. It's a lesson we must learn. So North Node, South Node, right? Past life, future life, or right now, current life, they're both squares. So they're both of a lesson that you have to learn. So all in all, what I'm trying to say, guys, is, over time, your soul's journey has been to that point where you haven't learned in the past life and also in a current life right now. So when that happens, that's the main reason why evolutionary astrology really started, was because we were seeing that as astrologers. We were like, what is going on? Why is this happening? Then you dig deeper into the chart. But with me saying in all of that, right now, guys, currently, in the sky, that's what's going on. We have the sun and the moon. They're already opposing each other, due to the full moon tonight. But they're also opposing each other, but not just that, but they're also the sun and the moon, the sun being our ego, being, our self, the planet that represents the self, and also Leo, but that's besides the point. And then the moon, which is our emotions, what we need, our instinctual emotions, and what we need from relationships as well, from ourself, fulfillment. So sun and moon opposing each other. That's just how it goes with a full moon. But they're both squaring the south node and the north node. Now, what this means, in terms of what's going on right now, the sun being there and the moon also in Scorpio, the sun being Taurus, obviously, opposition. They're squaring these two areas, right? And what it is because Taurus, okay, the sun, right now where it's at, Taurus represents security. Taurus represents that in which we must do in order to feel secure and in order to feel like we have satisfied our needs. Now, we all have needs, of course, guys, but when you come into this life with a Taurus sun, what it specifically kind of speaks of is your soul recognizing the needs that you need. You have like saying, I have needs, and in this lifetime, I'm going to satisfy those needs and do what is necessary to implement security, to have and to obtain and to maintain those needs, whatever it may be for you based on your chart, And then Scorpio, transformation, learning how to go deep within the emotions to uproot, the issues that you're experiencing for hopes of, transformation and all. Also, kind of expanding, I'm going to say secrets, but it's more of just subconscious fears, like that. Information being withheld, like that. So the North Node is in Leo right now, so it's all about moving forward, applying that what you need to do so you can achieve your destiny, solving a destiny and making sure that it happens, Then Aquarius in the South Node. And Aquarius is going to speak of the collective, and it's also going to speak of, I'm going to say, kind of getting lost in other people's problems in a sense, where it's kind of, we're going to do what's necessary for the whole, So in saying all of that, guys, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, they're all fixed, right? So what's interesting here, guys, is that when I see this, what it is that over time, as a collective and also as individuals, our emotional experiences are going to come to this point now where our sun, ego, our morals, our ethics of the sort, and our emotional bodies, what we need emotionally. Now, we're talking about over time, but when we're talking about over time, it means that in this evolutionary cycle, meaning the earth, meaning the age as to which we're in. So in saying all that, it's going to trigger our soul's development. And what this is going to do is that this is going to, I'm going to use the word force, okay? But it's going to force us into awareness as to what we need emotionally. And what it's also going to do is it's here because it's something that we need to look over. You know, we need to implement whatever it is that we need to implement into our life in order to achieve our karmic destiny. And also, too, I mean, I just want to throw this in there, but I was talking to a couple of my friends. I know Jennifer Estrada, she's one of the moderators on here. Also, Moon in Cancer, I was speaking to as well. That, like, I don't know about you guys, but have you been feeling like the moon has been staring at you? Like, it's been very strange. Like, I'll walk out and like I'll sit outside and or something, go smoke a cigarette, whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden, like just the other night, I was sitting there and I'm on my phone, and all of a sudden, like I got this weird, you guys know I'm a medium and all that, right? So I got this weird like presence behind me, and I was like, what the hell? And I turned around and I looked, and like the moon was like right there. It was like staring at me, and I was like, what the hell? It was this very weird feeling. And I just been feeling like even when I'm driving, I'll look up at the moon, I'll just be like, why do I feel like it's drawing me in, given that it's Scorpio, But I mean, besides that, it's just I've been feeling like it's been hitting me, like I've been staring at it, like it's like, it's weird. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to come on here to tell you guys this as well. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing that. It's very strange. But excuse me, guys. So back to the North Node and the South Node, right? So they're squaring. It's literally like a square, and they're all squares in there. The aspects. It's pretty crazy, guys. And I mean, this is all here because it's now time for a new evolutionary cycle in terms of as a whole, as a collective. Now we need to do what we need to do that's necessary, North Node Leo, South Node Aquarius, to implement those things that are necessary, right, for ourselves as individuals, but that also correlates or fits into how things work as a collective, if that makes sense. This is happening right now, and it's very interesting in terms of we are proof in a sense that we're moving into a new evolutionary cycle, guys. It's time to really put the work in that's necessary for us to really move forward, because if we're okay as an individual and we satisfy ourselves, we can then give back to the collective organically. We can give organically to relationships. And then also the second party within your relationship, right? They know what you need, because then you can be emotionally honest with them, and vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so this is what's going on right now. This is like how it's working. And what it means is basically like, how are you learning to recognize and contemplate purpose in your life? And we're really breaking karmic cycles right now, guys. We really are. And that's why it's been so intense. And that's why Mercury went retrograde. And that's why this is going to happen. This is happening. And why Pluto is retrograde, and why Mars and Pluto have a conjunction, both, they're both conjunct, and they're trining Venus. Like, it's crazy. It's like, whoa, what's going on? But that's why it feels so heavy. It's because we're purging out all of this crap that we've been holding on to, and that we're not even aware that we still like hold on to it, and that we have it in us. Like, I know I'm feeling like that too, where I'm kind of like sitting there and I'm like, I thought I got rid of that, or I thought I worked through that. We didn't completely work through it, because whatever it may be for you regarding your soul's journey. Now, also, once again, Chiron into Aries. We talked a little bit about that last time, but Chiron into Aries, I mean, the end result of that, or at least as it's moving halfway through, or gets halfway through Aries, what we're going to see, guys, is that we're going to see the birth of true healers. We really are. And it's going to be very bittersweet as we're going through it. And this coincides with the squares I was talking about to the nodes, where we're going to purge all of this crap, all this shit out that we've been keeping inside and that we haven't been wanting to release, or we thought we released, right? But we didn't, or at least there was residuals of it left. I like to refer to it as like a devil card reversed, in a sense, where we're unaware that there's still aspects left in there, from there. Anyway, but so yeah, what's going to happen is that we're going to find true healers, guys, because, Aries is the self. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's how well we're able to lick our wounds. It's how well we're able to not allow certain things to hinder us from not moving forward, That's Chiron and Aries in a sense, even though it is like I called it the energy. Yes, it is. But it forces us to look and deep within ourselves to say, what is going on? I can't hold that anymore. You know, Aries, I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to do this anymore. And Aries being, emblematic of, I have an Aries moon, so I get it. Emblematic of the self, of being self-driven and self-ambitious and also instinctual. Aries is a very instinctual sign. So using our natural born instincts to move forward in breaking those cycles that we need to break. You see what I'm saying? How it's coinciding. And this is going to bring a lot of healers into this world now, because we're going to do the work. We're going to be ambitious to do the work and dig real deep within us and not solve the wounds, because we can't solve the wounds. What we do is we just don't allow it to hinder us from moving forward. There's a form of acceptance within the situation. So that's what's going to happen, right? Let's see what card. Oh, look, the devil card popped out. It's funny. It's great. There it is. And Capricorn as well, Pluto being in Capricorn, Saturn being in Capricorn, Mars being in Capricorn. There's a lot. Capricorn has really taught us a lot of lessons during this time. It's crazy. But like I said, it's going to bring a lot of healers, Chiron into Aries, and it's going to not only bring a lot of healers, right? Yes, but what it's also going to do is that it's also going to show us, since Chiron is in Aries, how, like I said, ambitious and killing those wounds, Now it's going to bring the healers into this world, and it's going to be something that's still fresh within the healer's mind. So then, therefore, they can then apply that and give that to other people and to help them along the way as well. So that in itself is pretty interesting and pretty crazy. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the new phase conjunction with Mars and Pluto. It's going to be like that in conjunction for about 2 years. It's pretty much almost about to start. Literally, like, Pluto's at like 21 degrees and Mars is at 22 degrees. Like, it's pretty much there, guys, And what's interesting is that they're both conjuncting, right? And then they're trining Venus. And this is interesting, guys, because check this out. Okay. Mars and Pluto are both in Capricorn right now, okay? So they're conjunct and they're trining, right? Whenever you have a trine within someone's chart or within a chart in general, what it means is that it's something that we are unaware of. Well, we're more aware of it, but it's more of like, how can I say it? It's a gift, not a talent, if that makes sense. Whenever we have like sextiles, whenever we have a sextile, right? What it does is that other people see that in us. So then therefore we know that it's there as well, in a sense. So then therefore we practice at mastering it. When it's a trine, it's built within us, So in saying that, Mars, Pluto, conjunct, right, together in Capricorn, right? So establishing that security and also noticing and identifying our limitations, and what's going on. So conjunct, and then they're trining Venus, right? And Venus right now at this current time is in Gemini right now. So it has to do with communication. It has to do with learning how to love or emotions through talking, through communication, through also getting opinions from other people and getting those opinions, right? And literally getting them together, taking whatever you need from them, putting it together, and then assimilating it, And then also Gemini being a sign that's very intellectual, a sign that wants to gain as much information about things as possible. So, in saying all that, what this is doing, guys, is that this is showing us through communication, not only for ourselves, not only intellectualizing how we love and what we need and what we need emotionally, due to Venus being in Gemini. So it's like we're not only going to talk about it and express it to other people, but we're also going to take opinions or aspects from other areas and see like, that looks successful. I think I'm going to try that. Okay, that looks successful. Okay, I think I'm going to try that. And then so all in all, what it's doing is that it's showing us to intellectualize up to a certain point what we need through experience and also through, visualization and surveillance of the scene that's around you, and also from your partner. And then since Pluto and Mars are in Capricorn, what it's going to do is that it's going to show us our limitations. Where do we have power up to a certain point? Where do we allow power to come into our lives and to actually affect us? How well is our communication? So it's a lot of this soulful healing in terms of what we need, emotionally. And it's going to be a little crazy, you know, because there's still a lot of purging to kind of go through. Absolutely. Let's see. Also, you know, Saturn being retrograde as well too. Pluto being retrograde. All of these planets too, as well as yeah, I just want to think those two. Yeah, Saturn and Pluto being retrograde. Oh, Jupiter as well. Remember, guys, when there's a retrograde, the theme, at least the blanket term theme, has to do with revisiting things. It's to take a step back, to literally stand there and face the issue, and it's coming to you, and you're like, oh my God, and like you can't move. You're stuck there, and then it's literally like, you know, you must look at it. And it's a review, you know? So a review of how well we interpret things, how well we think, how well we actually dwell within the confines of our emotional needs, you know? And also how well are we applying limitations in our life in terms of recognizing them? How well are we doing this? How well are we transforming? Are we gonna put the work in? Are we gonna do all of the things of that nature, you know? So that's why we've been having a lot of retrogrades, is because it's the review of everything. Okay. So in saying all of that, we're looking at like review of where we've come up to this point, you know, a review of all old paradigms and how either we will apply it or we won't apply it, and then implementing and knowing our new truth. That's basically what it's saying here. And with the squares to the nodes, as we were talking about, it's all tying in, guys, in terms of this is proof that we're on a new evolutionary cycle as a collective. Now, me saying all this, if anyone says that the universe does not have a consciousness, they're fucking liars. Look at what's going on. And it's stressful. It sucks. It hurts. It's so drawn out, is because, guys, whenever anything has an aspect to the nodes, we're breaking evolutionary cycles and we're applying new evolutionary cycles, and we're shattering old, drawn out, stupid paradigms, you know, that just don't serve us any longer. So when anything's, like I said, squares the nodes of the moon, that's something to be learned. Remember, like I said, the square is something to be learned. So we're learning through this time what works and what doesn't, and are we going to put the work in? And it comes to that point. And since all the big game changers, you know, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, all of those, you know, planets that their aspects are so hard on us, or at least they're the most profound, they're all retrograde. So think about it, guys. All of this shit's going on, right? We're breaking evolutionary cycles and we're breaking karmic cycles, but why? Because the retrogrades, we're forced to sit there and look at it. We can't run away from it anymore. We can't do it. And now we've been given the chance throughout time to actually do this, but a lot of us don't want to do it. So now universe, God is saying, not anymore. We need to now look at it, and we need now to reflect on all of this and to really say, okay, I'm going to do it. You know, it's like, again, what's an example would be like, you know, maybe let's say your parent, right? Or if you're a parent, you want your kid to go to a certain school because you know that school will like benefit them, you know, and they're like, I don't want to go to school. I want to stay at this one. You're like, you're going to do it because you force them to do it, you know, but you know, it's what's best for them. It's the same idea, guys. That's going on here. So what popped out here is we have the Eight of Swords, the World reversed, and the Chariot. All right. Are we going to still keep ourselves trapped within the confines of our fears and of our mind with the Eight of Swords here? This is a choice card. This is a blindfold over the eyes because we don't want to see the truth, and we believe that we're trapped. So when we have that mindset of being trapped, like the World card reversed, things are not going to move in our favor. Or they move, okay, either it's stagnation, or they're going to move, but not in our favor because we don't have our favor in mind, in a sense, you know? And they're going to move forward. like that. It's going to happen. But it's a mindset, guys. It's a perception. Up to a certain point, it's about 99% of it. It's a perception, guys. It has a lot to do with fear. And this Eight of Swords, this is fear. It's I don't want to move forward. I want to stay within my little bubble, and I don't want to venture off because then we can't understand the future. There's a fear of it. I get it. I get caught up in that too. Everyone does, you know? So all in all, guys, I mean, this is what's going on right now. And I know I kind of skimmed through everything. Oh yeah. Also, guys, Uranus moving into Taurus. I mean, this is interesting. Hey, what's going on, Yildiz? Shout out to Yildiz. This is interesting, guys, because now, you know, Uranus is it's a planet, I call it the planet of weird. It shatters paradigms, right? I think I told you guys this before. It's kind of the best example. It tests the thresholds, you know, how far can it bend until it snaps? So that's what Uranus does. It revolutionizes things. So it's going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until it snaps, right? And when it snaps, that's when Uranus says, that's where it's weak. We need to look at this again and go over it, right? And given that it's in Taurus, we're going to revolutionize, you know, how we do things and what security means. What does security mean to us as a collective and also as individuals? What do we need that works? And also, if you think about it, revolutionizing our security, it's bringing in the old. It's taking out the old and bringing in the new. It's going to snap these places that are weak within the confines of our comfortability or what we think has been working. So, guys, now, and that's why a lot of purging is happening and a lot of just content have to take them. But we first have to know that we are worth it in order to accept those new opportunities that are coming in. So therefore, we can give others the best of us. Excuse me, guys. Uranus is going to shatter all of those paradigms, you know, and that's why things are going to change. It's not like, you know, Taurus is going to move. Uranus is going to move into Taurus, like, you know, and that day, like everything's just going to change. No, absolutely not. You know, it's a 7-year transit, so it's going to take time. But we're now forced to look at it and say, what have we been doing? Are we secure in it? Is it working? You know, and then Saturn being there retrograde, and then Pluto there being retrograde, like Jupiter being retrograde, like whoa. We're literally, like I'm telling you guys, we're standing still and everything is just, it's hitting us. That's what it's doing. And it's hard. A lot of transformations are going to come up, guys. A lot of old paradigms are going to be shattered. And it's going to be how we're going to implement this and how are we going to do it now? Because now we're literally being forced as a collective, planetary wise, to take back our power and to own it and to find out once again who we are. Because we've been ignoring it, you know, and when we are focused on another person, we all crave emotional, you know, bonding with another person. We're emotional beings. That's why we're here. We're here for this emotional experience, you know. But when we are always so focused on the other person, we then take the focus off of us, you know, in terms of as an individual, we take the focus off of us. And then we don't work through what's going on with us because we're so concerned about the other person. Yep. The Wheel of Fortune, it's going to move in our favor at that point. And this is exactly what Uranus is going to do. It's going to move in our favor. May not seem like it. It's going to suck because there's a lot of resistance, you know. And given everything else that I talked about, all that as well, it's going to be there. I just really wanted to talk to you guys about the sun and the moon being squared to the nodes. When I saw this, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, whoa. Those are 2 skip steps. What? Wow. What's going on here? And then I've been feeling like I've been experiencing some past life emotional trauma coming up. Like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm like, you can ask Yildiz and you can ask Moon in Cancer. all of a sudden I'm there and I'm in my room listening to music or something, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, and I get like this huge sadness over me, and I'm like, and also guys, regret, feeling very regretful and remorseful about things that you're not sure why, like whatever's going on, it may not apply to like your actual current life right now. And I remember having those moments and feeling like that, like, why do I feel regretful and remorseful? And then like a little bit of anger in it, you know, like almost like I couldn't do anything about it. And I was like, what is going on with me? Like, what the hell? And I was like, I think I'm going through past life trauma, like, you know, and like whatever day that you're experiencing this, maybe 2,000 years ago, maybe 300 years ago when you were alive, something happened at that time, you know? So you're revisiting it now due to the squares of the nodes and Uranus and all Pluto and all that crap going on, you know? Now it's time for, back then when we were alive, right? We couldn't do anything about it, or we weren't forced to change it. Now we're here, we're being forced to change it. We have to change it. You know, it sucks. It's not fun. It's not, but we have to do it. And that's why we're purging all of these emotions. We're purging all of these things that we believe that, like, oh, I thought I got through that. I thought I finished that. I thought we didn't finish that. Unfinished business, you know, where we have power over our own lives and where other people have power over our lives, you know. Do we believe that we're just untouchable? Those aspects are going to happen, guys, and they're going to play out, and they're already playing out. Even in my life, I mean, some of the clients that I talk to, friends that I talk to, shit is popping off, and it's just happening where it's to the point where people are literally having to, it's hitting, you know, and they're just like, whoa, and then you're trying to run away from it, and like you're looking this way, brick wall, looking this way, brick wall, brick wall. The only word that there is not a brick wall is fucking forward. You know, and we can only move forward, guys. That's the only direction that God provided for us. So we need to move forward, and now we're stuck. You know, we can't, like, shit, and we got to move forward. Now we have to actually go through the issue. We cannot go back anymore. And I should take my own damn advice at times, and you'll just remind me of this shit, okay? You too, Moon and Cancer. It's tough, guys. But you guys want to know something though? In 10, 15 years, okay, we're going to be fucking beasts. We really are, to the point where it's going to make us more compassionate. It's going to make us more understanding. It's going to make us more, I don't want to use the word angelic because it's kind of, you know, a little, kind of exacerbating a little bit, but I'm one of the people, okay, that believes this, you know, due to me being an empath and everything of the sort, you know, and psychic and medium, all that, right? No one truly understands until you're the one standing there. And I said this, I want to say sometime last year, I was feeling like this was coming up. You're going to be the one standing there, and as well as them, whoever it is that's involved in the situation. We're all going to go through this, through very similar things, but with different circumstances at different times, you know? So it's going to cause some compassion within us to look at people and situations and say, you know what I'm about to do, what I'm about to say, is that going to make the situation better, or is it going to make the situation worse? And then having more discernment. And this, like I said, that's why it's till, a lot of this is going on till September. It's going to take that long to hit everyone. This is a process. So, yeah, I mean, guys, I'll stick around for some questions if you guys have, but yeah, a lot of shit's going on. A lot of karmic cycles are breaking. It's crazy, guys. It's intense, like, you know, it really is. But like I said, we're going to be beasts at the end. That's what, and then think about it, guys. If we're beasts, right, we're going to teach our children this. Our children are going to then see the examples that we set. We're breaking karmic cycles, and guys, we should really be happy about this. And think about it, everyone that's alive right now, you know, I mean, regardless of age at this point, we're actually seeing this change in evolutionary history, and we're actually experiencing it, and we're moving forward again, the chariot. And we're experiencing this, and we're actually playing and having a pivotal role within this process. We're changing future generations. The sun upright. Mm-hmm. Light is going to be shown or shed, I should say, upon issues that need change. It's going to happen. It's going to take time, but it's going to happen. Therefore, we'll be happier people. It's just going to fucking suck through the whole process. You know, it really does. Let me see. Let me move this around. All right, guys, do you have any questions maybe or anything of the sort? And also, guys, I mean, you know, book with me, we can look at your chart, and I'm telling you guys, like, I may connect. I mean, anyone really can who's an evolutionary astrologist. You know, we all can. We just have to just train ourselves. But anyway, I make connections in your guys' chart. Like if you feel like, oh, you know, let's say there's something with security in your chart, you know, like that's squaring your moon's, the nodes of your moon. I look at Taurus, I look at Venus, I look at Mercury, I look at all these different aspects. Where are they and how are they placed and how are they all communicating with each other? Our charts are interesting, guys, because everyone has good and bad in their chart. Everyone has shit in their chart. I do my damn self. My moon in my chart has not one good aspect. They're all squares and they're all oppositions and all that. And yet I fell into what I did, and I'm here with you guys, you know, giving emotional healing and soulful healing. And my moon is badly aspected, but my sun isn't, you know. So in me saying that, we have bad in our chart, but we also have like that little aspect that's there that's going to help us either confront the issue and solve it. Devil reversed. Remember, I was speaking about when we think it's not there anymore, but there's residuals left over. Exactly. That's what's going on, guys. So anyway, what I was saying, but those aspects that we have, they allow us to move forward. They overpower each other in a sense, or they at least give us the drive, but we have to notice what they are, you know. And it's tough. I mean, who the hell knows that, you know, their soul's destiny? Like we come into this world or into this lifetime forgetting for a reason, you know. But all in all, I look at your chart and actually see what the heck is going on here. Why do you feel like this? What's the intent of your soul? Where is your Neptune? How do you communicate with the divine? How and what is the best way to come back to source? That's where we have Neptune in our chart. You know, for instance, guys, check this out. My Neptune, right, is retrograde in my chart in the 3rd house in Capricorn. The 3rd house, you know, defaultly ruled by Gemini. So my Neptune being in the 3rd house means that I come back to source, or how I feel like I connect to sources through communications. And what am I doing with you guys right now? You know, that's what I'm saying. When we look at our chart and we really dig deep within it, we can really see what the fuck is going on, you know? And especially right now, guys, it's the most appropriate time to 6 of Cups, not be stuck in the past and to move forward. But right now is the best time, or one of the best times to actually look at your chart, because right now we're being forced to do the damn work. So it's a good time. It may not look like it's favorable, but it is a good time right now because we're literally forced to do the damn work, you know? Okay, guys, let me catch up with these comments here. Yeah, giggle. That's funny. It does look like origami. Yeah, Trista, if you're going to do a pre-recorded, I don't do the astrology readings pre-recorded because, you know, that's meant for, you know, divinely guided soulful healing. So we need to communicate back and forth. I mean, you can use a phone, you know, you don't necessarily have to have a computer and all that. And I mean, guys, I do Google Hangouts. I have Skype, Facebook Messenger. I have Google Duo, you know, I have all those things. So, you know, whatever works for you, at least is the best platform. You could work it out. Shoot. Yo, just what's up with Gemini? Oh, guys. Oh, yeah. Also, I'm going to do the voiceovers, you know, the moon readings tonight. So they'll probably maybe be available tomorrow. I like to do these, especially the moon readings, I mean, because they make me freaking psychic like a motherfucker. But anyway, what I like to do it in the thick of the energy. So like, you know, I don't like to do it a week before because it's all about that current energy, you know, for the next 2 weeks. It's not like it's for the whole month or something, you know. So I like to do it within the energy, but I'm going to do those tonight so you guys can go ahead and check those out. The full moon in Scorpio. Oh, okay, Trista, yeah. Also, Trista, I mean, maybe if you can maybe stand outside or something and use your phone's normal cellular service. Sometimes that works too. I mean, hey, I can always work with you guys, you know. And remember, guys, whenever you guys book a reading, I mean, it's your reading. So let me know, you know, like what works best for you. It's your reading. You paid for that moment, and that's your time where I give you my undivided attention, and it's about you, and that's what it is. All right, guys, I think, let's see. Let me just pop out a couple more cards. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask right now. Anything about planets, anything about aspects in your chart, anything like that, real quick, I can answer for you guys. Let's see. Spirit, Father God, Source, can you please give us some advice, Father, on how to move forward or what to do within this time as a collective? Can you provide guidance, Father? Anything of the sort that we need to hear today, Lord? Any guidance, Father, that you can provide for us as a collective, Lord? Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please provide guidance as well for us today on how to move forward or what to look out for. Guidance. Okay, bottom of the deck, Eight of Swords reversed. So we're coming out of being trapped. We're taking that damn blindfold off. Enough, you know? Oh, and also, guys, for your guys' astrology reading, if you guys would like to book that, I need the accurate time of birth. Like literally, I don't need seconds, but reference your guys' birth certificate. I'm not saying don't trust your mamas. I mean, my mom knew. She's one of those weird moms that just knows things like that. She's a Libra moon, but she's Cancer sun, whatever. But you know, yeah, that time of birth, guys, it's so important. I mean, every 2 minutes something changes within the chart, and every 2 hours the rising sign changes. So if you don't know your exact time of birth, you guys can visit maybe like your local what is it? It's like your local like a social security office or something to that point, you know, like maybe like a welfare office, something like that. That like, or maybe I think maybe local library too as well. You can even order them online, guys, for like 30 bucks. You can order them. Make sure when you guys do order them, get the full sheet, not the half sheet, because the half sheet doesn't come with the birth time. It's just other information or just relevant information. But you know, who needs your birth time, you know? So that's why the half sheet doesn't really have it. And the reason why the time is so specific and why it matters the most is because that's your first house, your rising sign. That's where your chart starts off. You know how when you look at a chart, they're like cut like pie pieces. So the first house, that's your ascendant. Let's say you're like, for me, my ascendant's Libras, right? So it'll be Libra as the first house, and then it'll be Sagittarius is the second house. I'm sorry, what's wrong with me? For me, Scorpio is the second house, and then Sagittarius is the third house. Then the four, it starts like that. And guys, your aspects are everything. They show your strengths, your weaknesses, what you're here for, why you have squares. If you have anything out, it matters. The time is everything. It's the most important aspect. All right, let's see what cards popped out. Oh, interesting. The Magician reversed. Six of Cups reversed again. And the Ten of Swords. Interesting. I want to say that this is all about our mindset, guys. If we feel like we don't have all the tools necessary to move forward, which we may not have every single thing to move forward, but we normally do, guys. We really do at times. You know, it's a perspective. It's the way that we look at situations and look at things. So if we feel like we don't have, if we feel like we don't have the tools necessary to move forward, we're going to stay within that. We're going to stay stuck in the past. That's where we're going to stay because we're going to create that, you know? And also I just picked up right now too, it's now time to do that inner work, right? So that then we can give organically outwardly. Also, guys, I just picked up too that we need to also be very mindful and very careful during this time in terms of taking care of ourselves behind the scenes a little bit. Let's not do it outwardly so much. It's now time to no longer look externally for emotional satisfaction and emotional well-being. Whatever we want externally regarding relationships, regarding people, regarding partners, whatever the case may be, family, those things should complement us, or aid us a little bit within the process. We need to get away from the dependency from external sources, because look at where it has got us. It's brought us to this point. And then also, I just picked up with the Magician reverse and the Six of Cups reversed here. What this does, guys, is when we look externally, right, for satisfaction, what happens when it's gone? When it's no longer there? Right? I can't do it. Because we don't look internally. If we look internally, it's never going to be gone, And it leads us to the Ten of Swords. But this is interesting because this here, guys, is ending. It's an ending of a cycle. It sucks, but it's an ending of a cycle. Now it's time to take all of those swords out of our own backs and get the fuck up and move forward now. No more excuses. And everyone remind me of that when I'm freaking out, But yeah, Four of Cups underneath, Four of Cups reversed underneath the bottom of the deck here. Interesting. No more missing opportunities. No more feeling discontent. No more feeling I can't do it. I don't have the strength to do it. When we get to that point, we need to look inside and say, why do I feel like I'm not worth it to put that work in? Guys, we are so used to putting the work in for another person, to love them and to support them and to prove who we are to them and to be there for them. Imagine, guys, which is great, don't get me wrong, but imagine if we put all that energy into ourselves. And there's nothing selfish about that. There isn't. So there's nothing selfish. I always say this to you guys. There's nothing selfish about soulful growth. If the other person thinks you're being selfish because you're taking time to do soulful growth, they're the fucking selfish one, because they should give you that time to do the soulful work, Like we now, guys, we need to take a step back and look at things from a different perspective, from a spiritual sense, where it's like, what the fuck is really going on here? We have to look at situations like that anymore. I mean, we can't look at situations like that anymore in terms of how we used to do that when we're worrying about what happened. No, where the fuck did it go wrong? We have to start to look at things like that, and that builds self-love, and that builds us actually putting up the barriers, putting up the our boundary lines and reestablishing them and saying, I ain't fucking crossing this line, and nor are you gonna cross it. Like, we have to do that, It's time now. And guys, we have to do it because we're being forced to do it, planetary wise. Now, the universe has a fucking consciousness. I hate that I'm cussing a lot right now, but this is serious. It's serious. The universe has a consciousness, and it's done. It's time to put the work in. It's time to purge through it. No more going around the problem. We have to go through it. And I know it's easier said than done. I get it. I'm human too. Shoot. I go through it too, But guys, it's time, because now the universe is saying, God's saying, source, all the same source, all goes back together, or to one source. It's saying, cut the shit. It's time to move forward, so that then we can then raise the vibrations of this planet together. We have to do it together. We can't do it. Yes, we do it as individuals in terms of how we get there, but it is for the whole. We're connected. We're all one. We're one source. We work together. If one person is off, we can't complete it, So in order for us to know what needs to be changed, shit has to stir up, and it has to be in your face, and you have those brick walls around you where you can't move and you can't run anymore. It sucks. I get caught up in the energy too. I'm telling you guys, even us, you'll just, she gets caught up in the energy too. Moon and Cancer, we're all readers, we're spiritual teachers and healers. We go through it too. We call each other on the damn phone. We're like, oh my God, I can't do it. Like, we flip out too. We have moments too, But then that's when we're all not like that at the same time. And well, maybe right now it's a little crazy, but you get what I'm saying. We're all like that at different times, you know. So then you'll just will give me strength to move forward. Moon and Cancer give me strength to move forward. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, Mark, you got your shit together, cool. And then they call me and they're freaking flipping out. And then I'm not at that time. And then they, you know, that's what it is. And in order for us to give advice, we have to work and know. In order for us to give proper advice, we have to be cool with ourselves and deal with our own shit so that we can provide it. You know, it's time to move forward, guys, and to end that cycle so we can come out of being trapped, right? Take the blindfold off, and we can also come. That's interesting. I just never looked at the Four of Cups reversed here, guys, as like being optimistic. That's interesting. You know, time to cut the shit. That's interesting. Yeah, it's time, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and end absolutely. And like I always tell you guys, God will be with you throughout every single situation, trial, and tribulation. But ultimately, guys, it is your decision in the end to get the hell out of your own way and let Him work through you, so that you can allow His involvement, because He can't come in if you don't allow Him to come through. We have to make that conscious decision. And why would we not allow God, Spirit, the divine, to come through? They want and have the best of our intentions at heart. It's because when we're like, I don't want to do it, no, you know, we that's where like being like our inner child is like, no. They have the best of our intentions. And when we let go and we surrender, right? And that word surrender is very interesting. It's not like you're completely just saying like, oh, take it all. I mean, so yeah, that happens at times, you know, but surrendering meaning that we say, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, so help me out. And then we allow them to come through and help us out. And why would we not, when they have the best of our intentions at heart? We come from the Creator. Shit, who would know us better? You know, it's like your kids trying to tell you, you don't know me. What the hell? Of course I do. You're part of me. It's the same concept, you know? But okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this session here. Thank you guys for joining me here today. It's kind of out of the blue, but you guys can always email me if you have any questions. Be sure to visit intuitiveperceptions.com. All your needs are there for the services. Utilize the chat function that's there as well. I can go back and forth with you. I'm usually pretty good about answering back. Sometimes, you know, it's like it depends on like, you know, time zones. Sometimes I'm asleep. It just depends. But normally I get the notifications on my phone when someone's on the website. So I'll be able to help you guys out when you're there and find like the best service for you. I think that was it. Oh yeah, also this month for May, I'm trying out something new in terms of on the website. I'll let you guys know everything completely when you guys see the general readings. You guys are gonna get the messages in there too, but it has to do with love readings that it's like an extended reading, but it's a complete separate entity, you know, in a sense. But it's your love reading for the month, you know, and they're $3.99 on my website. I'm still in the midst of setting that up. It's almost done, but it's there. It's going to be through PayPal, guys. So I'm going to try that out, see how that goes, and see how you guys like them, and see how, you know, try new things. It's also called Lovegistics. That's what we're going to call it. All right, guys. Like I always say, it's not my channel. All right, guys. God bless. And as always, love and light.